Hey up! My name's Danny and welcome to BobsMotoVlogs episode 1. Well, with a bit of luck anyway, if the footage turns out alright. Yeah, we're just heading out on a quick spin. Just got set up with all the cameras, been building up over the last few weeks. So really just wanted to get out, test them, see how the audio was coming through. I've got the Purple Panda microphone set up on the helmet cam, which is a GoPro Hero 7 Black, and I got a second camera angle here, and that is a GoPro Hero 4 Black. And that angle is going to be moved around, it's not going to stay in the same place, just to keep things a little bit fresher. I'm going to switch it up between the windscreen looking back at me as it is now and the rear of the bike. I've got a mount on the frame and it's going to be looking out at the road. Go on, donut. It's going to be looking out at the road off the back of the bike. It's a really nice shot actually. It sits just next to the rear hugger, just above the exhaust, so that should be a good one. Just tried that out the other night. But we're heading out for a quick spin, 1 hour. We've got to go and put some fuel in the bike now, so that's what I'm just going to go and do quickly. And we're heading out on a ride which means a little bit of something to me, this one. It's a special little loop for me, this. I'll tell you more about that once we get amongst it a bit more. But it's just good to be out on the bike. Obviously we can't go very far given the current lockdown, but yeah, it's no good the bike's sitting not turning a wheel. As I mentioned in the introductory video which I uploaded the other week, if you haven't watched that yet, maybe go and check it out. I'll tell you a little bit about me, and just briefly, you know, what my intentions are for the channel and what you can expect to be seeing. I mean, I'm sure if you found yourself here watching this, you know what to expect from a moto vlogger. It's just going to be me out on a bike, waffling on a little bit, and hopefully coming up with some good stuff. So I'm just going to pull in the garage here, get some fuel, and then we're going to head out on a little ride. For anyone who might be local, if you've guessed where I am, this is junction 27, the M6, up here at Standish. We're going to be going over to Rivington, Sheep House Lane, well, past the barn, Sheep House Lane, Belmont, back through Higher Wheelton. And I'll tell you a little bit more about why it's a special ride to me shortly. So let's get some fuel in it, and then I'll get all the boring riding out of the way, and then I'll be back with you. Well, I'll just pop the camera on for this road here. I am a fan of this road. Just nice and open. It's not the quickest in the world. Nice and open. Just coming past Keeley Court out the back of Standish in Wigan. It's nice flowing corners. It's just a nice road to be on. Heading out towards Frederick's Ice Cream. I'm going to jump on the A6 there and then head into Rivington that way. Thought I'd just put the camera on. Show you a little bit there. If we get an opportunity to come past this Suzuki Swift, we shall. Nice of them moving over. Lovely road this. Like I say, you don't want to be tonking it. Some of the corners are pretty blind. Even though you've got the solid white line there, you never know. lovely. Frederick's ice cream. Always a queue at the minute outside there. There we are. No one can really do anything, can they? So they just want to go out and enjoy themselves, get some ice cream. Why not? So this is the bottom end of Rivington, this now. Just coming up to the, like, you know, the barn road or whatever it is. You got the cafe up on the right, where all the bikers go, but probably not today. Probably no one there, but in normal circumstances it's heaving around there on a Sunday, which is always good. Always enjoy going there. And then you got the other little cafe on the left, just down here in a minute. We're going to be doing a right onto Sheep House Lane, just round the tea rooms, and heading over that way into Belmont. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this ride's a special one to me. And why is that? Well, it is the first ever motorcycle route that I ever did out on the road. There's a funny story behind that, actually. So I was actually on my CBT, compulsory basic training. If you're not familiar with that, it's the very first thing that you are required to do if you're wanting to go on two wheels. Covers you up to a 125cc bike. When I was looking into doing my direct access, you know, your full bike license, and even so, the first thing you've got to do is the CBT. So yeah, we went out, turned up at Wigan rider training. If you're local to that area and you're looking at doing your direct access or even just CBT, if you need to get out on a 125, I would highly recommend going to Wigan rider training. Andy there really looked after me, got me through my full direct access in under a week. So that's pretty astonishing effort from him there. But on the CBT training, I turned up there, and it was myself and another person on the course, young girl, and we did the first section of the training, which is done at his yard, and it's all your real basic manoeuvres. But the girl who was on the course was really having a difficult time. We was on 125 geared bikes, and then she really couldn't get her head around the gears, the clutch, any of that. She could drive a car, but she got on a bike and it was just not computing at all. So he put her on a moped and she couldn't find a balance. She was putting her feet down, panicking, and so between the two of them, they made the decision that it wasn't going to be safe her going out on the road. Andy and I were just having our dinner, and we were talking about, you know, when I was going to book in for my direct access, and he said, oh well, seeing as it's just us two now, do you want to go out on the big bikes this afternoon on the road? And I said, yeah. Absolutely, of course I do. So he said, well, we'll do another 10 minutes in the yard, you know, see how you feel, and if we're up to it, then we'll go out. And that's what we did. So we jumped on the MT-07, did another 10 minutes on that, a couple of figure of eights in the yard, and then it actually was easier because I'm 6'1", and it was just easier to manoeuvre for me. Wasn't like a dinky toy anymore like the 125 was. It was a bit difficult to handle, really. So anyway, we came out on the road, and this is the route that we did, and it was incredible. It was just that sort of, you know, it was where it clicked. I just knew that this was it for me. You know, there was nothing going to be in the way of me and getting on a motorbike, and that was it. So I mean, look at the sheep here on the side of the road. Sheep House Lane, there we go. So yeah, we did this exact ride. We stopped at the barn just down there, had a little glass of Coke and had a chat, and we was really just going over things that was way more advanced than the CBT. You know, we was going over all the things that you're going to need to do to get through your full bike test. And yeah, it was really just a lesson, but obviously not a test route, and it was great. We really enjoyed it. Andy had a great time, because it's not very often he gets to do that, because normally on a CBT course you've got a lot more people and of mixed abilities as well, so you know, you kind of can't come out and do a ride like this, especially on the 125s, you know. But on the MT-07 you've got the power there to have a go at it, like, so. And that we did. It was amazing, you know. But like I say, it was really just the first time that I experienced how a bike can make you feel out on the road, and it was a really special day for me. That just mounted the GoPro 4 there on the back, so it's not mounted quite as good as the Hero 7 that I put on the other day. That's what I tried that angle out with, but we're going to try it anyway, see how it comes out. Battery's just starting to run low on this one. I'm coming to learn that pretty quick. That on these GoPros you need spare batteries galore, because they don't do very well on it. But let's have a see how that comes out. Something a little different, like I say, just keeps it fresh. You know, I don't just want to keep the cameras in the same place every time. So let's see how that one comes out, and hopefully we don't lose it. We'll pull up down the road. There's a lay-by just down the end of this road here. So this now is Belmont, and yeah, so you follow Sheep House Lane down to the end and it'll bring you to Belmont. Do a left there like we did, and this will lead you back to Chorley, ultimately back to Frederick's Ice Cream. And it's a nice little loop, just, you know, just for an hour. If you want to get out on a bike, you've not got much time. You know, we can't really go very far at the minute anyway. Could probably hit these bends about 100 mile an hour and be completely comfortable. So I'm no surprise that it's 50 mile an hour down here. It never used to be, I know that much, because when we came down here with Andy on the CBT, it was the first time he'd ridden it in a good while, and he said, oh, it's 50 mile an hour, gutted. Truly hoping that that second angle there is working and we haven't lost the camera. You might be staring at the tarmac in Belmont, I'm not too sure just yet. Find out in a minute when we pull over if we've still got a camera. But again, this is a great road and it brings great memories of that day when I was out on the CBT training. Just feeling the power of a bike for the first time, you know. And obviously we wasn't going over 50 mile an hour really, but you know, just coming out the bends and putting the power on and just feeling what that's like on a bike was something that I couldn't comprehend it. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I really just fell in love with it that day. And I mean, that bike, I mean, what a bike to do it on as well. The MT-07, a ton of power in those bikes. Really, there really is. Hell of a lot of power. I remember when I passed my test, actually, we was coming back from the test centre at St Helens, and the headsets were out and all that, and it was just, right, come on, you know, the road's yours now, kind of thing. And we had a little bit of fun coming through Billings, me and Andy, and we wasn't going really fast, but I hadn't opened the bike up all week fully, not all the way back, and but on the way home there I did, and I could not believe how fast it was. And I'm pretty sure they've got them on low power, but I mean, look at the bends. How cool is that? And you're just in the wilderness. It's lovely. Really nice ride, this one, and one that I've done many times. and it never gets old. Never gets old, this one. Another one that's just one of those rides for me was Hard Not Pass. It was I'd not long since passed my test. I had the ER6N, and I'd seen everybody ranting and raving about Hard Not Pass on YouTube, saying how treacherous it was and how you know, everyone drops bikes on there and all this, and I thought, no, I'm having that. So I went up there on my own. You know, very much riding career in its infancy, and went up and tackled it, and it was fine. But again, what a day. That was another one of those days that'll stick with me forever. Just going up there solo and just enjoying everything that two wheels have got to offer. I hope that second angle there at the back's come out well, hopefully. I mounted it up with the GoPro 7 the other night, and it seemed to mount up a little bit nicer. I don't know, it seems like it's pointed a little bit too far to the right over the rear hugger, and I kind of wanted it more to the left over the exhaust, if you will, but nah, whatever, we'll see how it comes out. I'm hoping that I can use any of this footage that I've shot today, because like I say, more than anything, it's a trial run. This, get out, waffle a bit. So I'm going to pull over here and I'll check that camera, and we shall pop it back on the screen, because from here now there's not much twisties from here. Seem to be getting quite a lot of fog, which is annoying. I've got the pin lock in, but I actually took it out the other week and like cleaned it. I don't know whether I've done something wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Kid waving there. Give me a little wave back. We're not YouTube famous yet, lad, don't worry. Don't be starstruck. I just absolutely love being out on the bike. There's nothing better than it for me, you know. It's just a wonderful thing to do in your spare time. Get out, enjoy the fresh air, you know, get kitted up, make sure you've got the right gear, because it can be miserable, you know, if you get caught out in the rain. That was a Volkswagen Polo, that, can you believe that? I would strongly recommend investing in some good gloves, something to keep your hands warm. I have got the Oxford Touring Advanced Heated Grips, and I couldn't recommend them any more to you. They are hot as hell, really do keep you warm. I've never had cold hands on a motorbike, I can honestly say that. Well, no, I can't. The only time I've had cold hands on a motorbike is when I bought this and it didn't have heated grips on it. I did about 2 rides on it and there was only local, just like this, what we've done today, little local spin, and my hands were frozen. It was one of the worst things I've ever experienced, and like I say, I've never had that before. The bikes that I did my training on all had heated grips. These ones, my ER6N had these exact grips on as well. They are brilliant. I mean, I've got them on now just on like 70% or 60%. Obviously this has got the hand guards on it, which do make a big difference actually. They're very efficient at keeping the wind off your hands. I mean, that is their sole job, so you would hope so, but yeah, they do definitely make a big difference. But what I will say is I actually ordered the premium heated grips and they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. The quality of those premium heated grips were, oh god, they were shocking. I didn't even fit them to the bike. I bought them and I thought that they were the same ones as what I'd had on the ER6, but they wasn't. They came, the connectors, the electrical connectors were just absolute tripe. They were terrible. I wasn't happy fitting them to the bike, sent them back. There was no mucking about with that. J&S pretty good like that. Emailed them and just said, you know, sending these back, not happy with the quality of them, and I ordered the advanced touring heated grips, which I would also advise you to do if you're looking into it. So back on this road again now. Just when we turned up there, that was Fredericks again. We're back on the same road in reverse, back into Wigan. Nothing too interesting on the way back from here now though. I'll go the nice way, go through Orrell, all over that way. Bit nicer. Might even go over Parbold actually, come to think of it, from here. Now then, just finishing up a little bit of editing for the vlog which I shot yesterday, which was the Rivington loop. Hope you enjoyed it. This clip's going to be at the end of that video because my batteries did go flat, so that's why I'm here. And also to tell you a little bit about my evening which I had yesterday after the ride. So after the ride I had a little bit of running around to do. Had to go and drop a school book off up at my daughter's mum's house, and yeah, I hit a bottle in the road on the way there and blew the front tyre out on the bike. Very lucky in some senses because at least it was, you know, not something that threw me off the bike or anything, and also lucky the fact that I was nearly there at a house. If I'd have been any further away, I think I'd have been stranded wherever I was really. Not what you need on a Sunday evening. So yeah, that's that. The bike has gone today to MCO motorcycles at Orrell there, the Kawasaki dealer. Couldn't rate them enough. That's where I got the bike from. It was brilliant all through the sale, and then you always kind of worry about like the after sales. But fair play to him, rang them up today and said, blew the front tyre out on the bike, do you fit tyres? Yes we do, so great stuff. I said I'm going to put some tyre weld in it and I can get the bike up to you. And he said, no, where's the bike? And I said, well, it's in Appley Bridge. Right, okay, he said, forget the tyre weld, save that for another day. He said, I'll come in the van and get the bike for you. Oh, right, okay, that works. What are you going to charge me? Not going to charge you anything. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's good. So the bike's gone in his van. Literally turned up 9:20 Monday morning. About 10 minutes after I spoke to him. Come straight with the van down the road. Loaded it up. Off it goes for new tyres. As if it all couldn't get any worse. When I was putting the bike in the garage at Emily's mum's house, I had to like squeeze it in the garage there, and the door's quite, it's a bit of a funny, there's a knack to it, the door, quite awkward, and basically I've clipped the top box on the bike as I was closing the garage door, and I've damaged it, so that's another thing that I'm going to have to get sorted. But again, the guys up there at MCO Motorcycles, they said they can get the part for me sorted, so they're going to get me a price. Happy days. Couldn't rate them enough. If you're local to the Wigan area and you're looking at a bike, or even just any servicing, I'm guessing they offer all sorts of services for any bikes. It's a great shop, I've been in there. So yeah, in conclusion, pretty mental day, but I mean, what can you say? It's all part of it. So if you made it this far, then well done. You should probably subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more content like this coming. I'm hoping to be able to put videos out maybe once every other week. I will do the review of the Kawasaki Versys as I said I would. Obviously the bike's in the garage now getting the new tyres fitted. So as soon as it's back out, I'll try and cop for a nice day and we'll go and do the review. Tell you what I think about the bike, good and bad. My intentions were to do the review for the first video on the channel, but I just thought it was more fitting to do the Rivington loop given its significance to me. If there's any moto vloggers out there watching this, then feel free to drop me a message with any tips, little tricks that you've got. It's all appreciated. I'm super new to this, so any advice is welcome, and any input that you've got is going to be good. But other than that, I've been Danny, and you've been watching Bob's Moto Vlogs. See you in the next one.